kept asking people to forgive what I did. But the hardest part was admitting I didn't even recognize what I'd become. I looked in the mirror and saw somebody I would've warned my younger self about that hurt. Because nobody becomes someone they hate in one decision. It's gradual, one compromise, one lie, one I'll fix it later. One wound you never heal turns into a weapon you start handing to other people, and one day you hear your own voice say something cruel and wonder when exactly you started sounding like the people who hurt you. I wanted forgiveness, but first I needed honesty. Not look what life did to me, but look what I let pain turn me into. Forgive what I become. I know I wasn't always like this. I used to trust, used to listen, used to love without keeping score. Then pain made me harder, pride made me colder, fear made me distant, and somewhere inside surviving I became someone I didn't know how to defend. Forgive what I become, but don't forgive me so I can stay this way. Forgive me while I learn how to become someone different. I started tracing the damage, not the damage done to me. Mine, conversations I controlled, people I shut out, apologies I delayed because pride wanted the final word. Love I made complicated because simple love felt suspicious. Times I went silent to punish, times I got loud to intimidate, times I called it protecting myself when really I was making everybody else pay rent inside wounds they didn't create. Pain may explain why you change, but it doesn't give you permission to make everyone else survive the version of you it created. That was hard to admit, because victimhood, it made everything simple. They hurt me, so I withdrew. They betrayed me, so I stopped trusting. They lied, so I learned to control. Easy story, but eventually the story changed. New people came, good people, and I still treated them like evidence was already against them. That wasn't discernment, that was old pain wearing authority. At some point, you have to stop asking who hurt me and start asking, who am I hurting now because of it? That question, say, I thought about somebody who loved me well, too well, patient, consistent, honest, and I still made them prove they weren't leaving again. They'd say, I'm here, I'd say, for now, they'd say, I love you, I'd answer, you'll change your mind eventually. They got tired of defending themselves against people they'd never met. Sometimes the person who finally loves you right ends up paying for everybody who loved you wrong. That line destroyed me, because I had demanded that somebody innocent pass tests written by guilty people, then acted shocked when they got tired. Forgive what I become, not because I didn't know I was hurting you. Sometimes I knew that's worse, sometimes I chose pride over repair, silence over honesty, control over trust. Forgive what I become. But if forgiveness comes, I know it doesn't erase what happened. It only gives me a chance to prove I learned something. So I apologized. No poetry, no. I'm sorry you felt, no. But you also, no courtroom, no defense, just I was wrong. That sentence felt heavier than anything I carried, because real apologies cost ego, and ego had been expensive to maintain. An apology means less when it's just regret trying to negotiate its way out of consequences. Some people accepted and some didn't, that hurt. But forgiveness isn't a reward for finally growing up. You don't get to damage somebody then demand they participate in your redemption. That last sin was brutal, but clean. I could change, they could still keep the door closed, both could be true. That's when I learned to stop performing change. No more, look at me, see how different I am. No, be different quietly when angry, pause when scared, speak when ashamed, own it when tempted to punish somebody with silence, communicate when pride it says, make them come to you. Go first. Transformation should eventually become visible without advertising. If you have to keep saying you changed, maybe the pattern still needs time to speak for you. I went back to the mirror, same face, different question. Do you forgive me? I asked. Would the younger version in me feel safe becoming this person? Silence that wanted hurt, because healing wasn't only about forgiving myself. It was about becoming someone I started letting evidence speak. Old me would've lied, new me told the truth. Old me would've blamed, new me owned it. Old me would've retaliated, new me walked away. Old me would've disappeared when ashamed, new me said, I messed up, can we talk? Small moments, massive proof, and slowly I trusted myself again, not because I became perfect, because I became predictable in a better way. When conflict came, I didn't explode. When rejection came, I didn't collapse. When love came, I didn't interrogate it to death. When success came, I didn't sabotage it. When guilt came, I listened for the lesson and stopped letting it stay overnight. Maybe becoming better isn't becoming unrecognizable. Maybe it's becoming the version of yourself you can finally rely on. Someone from my past saw me, long time had passed. They said you're different. Old me would've defended, explained, proved. I just said I hope so, because finally I understood. Growth doesn't need every witness to update their memory. They met me then, they are allowed to remember that version. I'm responsible for who people meet now. What part of yourself are you trying to change? Because you know pain taught you a behavior you no longer want to pass on. Anger, control, silence, distrust, people pleasing, emotional distance. Whatever it is, naming it isn't weakness. It's where the pattern starts losing its disguise. I stopped asking, am I a good person? Too vague. Started asking, was that decision honest? Was that reaction fair? Did I protect or control? Did I communicate or punish? Did I repair or defend? Character isn't one label, it's thousands of small decisions nobody turns into songs. You don't become better by proving you're a good person. You become better by making better decisions. When your worst habits offer easier ones, they're raw, still pieces of old me. Of course, anger knocks, pride calls, fear tries, old passwords. Sometimes they still work, difference, I change them faster. I don't build an identity crisis around every setback. I notice, repair, learn, continue. Maybe that's real maturity, not never failing without becoming the failure. So if you ask me, do you forgive what you became? Not completely, maybe someday, but I understand that that's different. I know where it came from, I know who got hurt, I know what it cost, and I know what I'm doing to make sure the cost doesn't repeat. Maybe forgiveness isn't one sentence, maybe it's a life built differently. Forget what I become. I know the darkness left fingerprints, I know pain taught me things I had to unlearn. I know some people mad a version of me I wish it never existed. Forget what I become. But if you can't, I understand. I won't demand your healing, prove my redemption. I'll change anyway, I'll tell the truth anyway, I'll break the pattern anyway, I'll become better anyway. Because maybe the strongest apology I can give to everybody who met my worst self is making sure the people I haven't met yet never have to. I looked at the mirror again, still me, good. I don't want a new face, I want new choices, new reactions, new habits, new character. The scar can stay, a lesson can stay, but the pattern, that one ends here. If you've become someone you don't recognize, don't lie about it. Don't hide behind your wounds. Don't say, that's just who I am now. That's surrender. Ask, what happened? Then, what did I start doing because of it? Because of it. Then, who is paying for that behavior now? Those questions. Light hurt? Let them. Some pain is surgery, but then do something with the answer. Apologize, change, set boundaries, get help. Walk away from environments that keep feeding the worst version of you. Tell the truth before consequences force it out. Learn how to regulate what you used to weaponize. And if people don't forgive you, respect it. Not every wound needs to reopen to prove you've healed. You don't need everybody back, you need the pattern gone. That's the mission, because maybe the goal isn't hearing, I forgive you. Maybe the goal is becoming someone who finally deserves to say, I don't live like that anymore. And when you look into the mirror years from now, maybe you won't love everything you see, but hopefully you'll recognize the person. Hopefully you'll trust him. Hopefully you'll know he has flaws, he has scars, he has history, but he no longer hands his pain to innocent people and calls it survival. Then maybe you'll finally whisper, I forgive what I became. thought changing would make me easier to forgive. Then I learned something worse. Some people only remember the version of you that hurt them. That hurt more than I expected, because I changed, really changed. Stopped lying, stopped running, stopped making everybody pay for wounds they didn't create. But some people still looked at me like the old version was standing there, and maybe to them he was. That's the consequence nobody prepares you for. You can become better without getting everyone back. Growth changes who you are. It doesn't control what people remember. Forget what I become. But if you can't, I understand. I know what version of me you had to survive. I know why trust doesn't return just because I finally learned how to deserve it. Forget what I become. But I won't turn your boundary into proof that changing was pointless. I'll keep becoming better even if you never come back to see it. Yeah. That was new, doing the work without an audience. No dramatic apology every month, no. See how different I am now. No fishing for validation, because eventually change has to stop being a performance. If I need everybody to approve my growth, then I'm still letting other people define me. Different costumes, same prison. If your growth only feels real when somebody from your past validates it, you may still be living for their approval. So I stopped checking, stopped asking friends, do you think they know I've changed? Stop wondering if they saw the new version. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, maybe they never will. That's okay, my future doesn't need every witness from my past. That sentence gave me peace. Then came another test, someone accused me of being the old me wrongly. That triggered everything, I wanted to prove them wrong. Wanted to pull out receipts, examples, names, dates, evidence. Then I stopped, because sometimes the strongest proof you change is how calmly you respond when someone misunderstands you. Old me needed to win the argument, knew me needed to keep the peace. Not fake peace, self-respect. So I said I understand why you see it that way, that was it. No war, no essay, no 20 message defense that felt powerful. Because I finally realized not every misunderstanding needs correction. Not every false opinion needs prosecution. Sometimes you let people carry the version of you they met and keep moving. You can spend years trying to correct somebody's memory of you and accidentally stop creating a better present. Read that again, how much life gets wasted inside. But I'm different now, maybe you are. Live it, your next decision is more important than somebody else's old conclusion. Forget what I become. I know some memories won't update. I know some doors won't reopen. I know some people will always remember who I am. And I noticed something else. I had become so focused on not being the old me that I wasn't becoming anything new. Every decision was, don't do what old me would do. That's useful for a while, but eventually you need more than avoidance. You need vision, not who am I, not anymore, but who am I becoming on purpose. You can't build an identity using only the things you refuse to become. So I wrote it down. Patient, honest, steady, kind, without becoming weak, strong, without becoming cruel, disciplined, without hating myself, loving without controlling, confident without needing to dominate, accountable without living in shame. That list felt different. For once my identity wasn't built around damage. Then I asked, what'd that person do today? Not forever. Today, would he send that angry message? No. Would he apologize first? Probably. Would he rest before burnout? Yes. Would he stay where disrespect keeps repeating? No. Small choices, but character is mostly built in small rooms nobody sees. You don't become someone new in one massive moment. You become them in 1,000 boring decisions. One of those decisions came fast. Someone hurt me, not accidentally. Old wound got touched. Anger came like it remembered the address. I felt the old language inside my mouth. Cruel words, perfect words, the kind that would have cut deep. I almost said them, didn't. Not because he didn't deserve a response, because I didn't want to become that response. Then came the hardest part, trusting joy. Because once you've hurt people, happiness can feel undeserved. You laugh and guilt says, how dare you? You love someone and shame says, what if they knew? You succeed and your past whispers, fraud, I had to learn. Joy isn't a reward reserved for people with clean histories. Human beings are complicated. Redemption isn't becoming someone who never failed, it's becoming someone who no longer builds a home inside failure. I started letting good things stay. A compliment stayed, love stayed, peace stayed. Not forever, just long enough to be received. No immediate, but no self-sabotage. No confession designed to make somebody reject me first. I stopped handing people weapons against me and calling it honesty. Honesty is telling the truth. Self-sabotage is using the truth as a weapon against your own future. That distinction saved me. I could say I've made mistakes without saying, so don't love me. I could say I've hurt people without saying, so I deserve to be hurt forever. I could say I have history without saying my future has to repeat it. Language matters, you can confess without sentencing yourself. Then one morning I realized I hadn't thought about the old me for days. Not because I forgot, because I was busy living, work, friends, plans, music, ordinary things. That's when I knew healing had stopped being the main story. Life was that felt beautiful. What part of your past are you still letting introduce you even though you've already outgrown it? The anger, the betrayal, the mistake, the relationship, the version who hurt people. Maybe it belongs in your history, not your name. I don't need everyone to forgive me, that's hard to say, but true. I hope they do, I hope their lives are peaceful. I hope what I did doesn't follow them, but their forgiveness is theirs. My responsibility is mine. Change, character, consistency, that's enough to keep walking. So if you ask, do you forgive what you've become? More than before, not because I've forgotten the damage, because I finally stopped confusing memory with identity. I know who I was, I know who I hurt, I know what I learned, and now I know who I'm trying to become. That's progress. Forgive what I've become. If you can't, thank you. If you can't, I understand. But either way, I won't return to the person who caused the wound. I won't make another innocent person pay for pain they didn't create. I won't turn shame into another excuse to stay broken. Forgive what I've become, or don't, but watch what I become next. Watch the pattern break, watch the anger lose control. Watch honesty replace defense, watch character replace performance. Watch me build a life that finally proves my past explains me. It doesn't own me. Same face, same scars, different habits, different choices, different direction. That's enough. I don't need to look untouched, I need to look changed. Maybe there are people in your life who will never believe you changed. That's painful, but listen. You cannot spend the rest of your life auditioning for people who already left the theater. They saw a version of you, maybe a terrible one. Let that truth humble you, but don't let it freeze you. Keep growing, not to prove them wrong, not to win them back, not to make the memory feel unfair. Grow because the next person deserves better. Grow because you deserve better. Grow because pain already took enough. And when the old version of you shows up again, because sometimes he will, don't panic, don't say, see, nothing changed. Notice I'm asked what triggered this, and choose, that's the difference. You have choice now, you have awareness, you have evidence, you have practice. And maybe that's what forgiveness eventually becomes. Not one dramatic, I forgive you. Maybe it's waking up every day and refusing to keep punishing the person who keeps choosing to become better. So no, I don't love everything I've been, but I respect what I've learned. I regret what I did, but I refuse to waste the lesson. And if someday I can finally look back without shame owning the room, maybe I'll say, I forgive what I became. Not because it was okay, but because I made sure it wasn't who I stayed. I regret what I did, but I refuse to waste the lesson. And if someday I can finally look back without shame owning the room, maybe I'll say, I forgive what I became. Not because it was okay, but because I made sure it wasn't who I stayed.